So variability in reality is the founding concept of the evolution theory. Life itself is variability. There is no life without variability. As far as we understand life today, we all swim in a sea of variability. I like the idea of swimming because it gives you the idea of being able to move in any direction with minimal effort, and it gives the idea of the fact that you should try to move along with the current in a way, not to have the variability work against you, but work together with variability and trying to use variability for for the best. Okay? Never put yourself against the current. Recognize that variability is there and do what you can do to go forward. So just a very tiny introduction to a typical, I would call it a typical but simplified feed flow. So we have ingredients. Each ingredient has its variation in its nutrients, okay? Then we add to that variation the sampling error. We add the analytical error. Then we have the data we use in our optimization. We take decision on this, but anyway, we get to a point where we have numbers that we use. Then we proportion the feed, and we have our rounding error in the diet. Then we proportion the feed, and we have dosing errors, scale errors, imprecisions, whatever you can think of. Then we have our mixing errors, because not every mixer is the same, and not every mixer is well maintained as it should be. Then you have, after you've made the mixer and you've pelletized and you've made everything, you have the segregation of the nutrients due to the different parts of processing, transport to farm and feeders, and finally, the errors of delivery that were mentioned yesterday. They are not at all something that does not happen. It happens. It happens, much more than we can think of. So there's a lot of points where we could say that there is an hotspot. They are not just the usual linear programming, because they include the variability data for ingredients. So you need to have the variability data for each nutrient for each ingredient, or at least for the ingredients you want to control, and for the nutrient in the ingredients you want to control. You need to decide what is the probability of success you want, i.e., how many times out of 100 you want to be within the numbers you set as a requirement in your LP. And you have to know your analytical error data. Let's say that most of these things are totally unknown, or very difficult to obtain, and very difficult to manage, and very difficult to maintain. Said this, that explains why the software has not been a big success. I can show you some idea of how it works.